The Seton Catholic women's basketball team getting ready to hoop it up against Gilbert Christian on a big night of basketball on the campus of Chandler Prep. Good evening, everyone. I'm Joe Pequeno alongside Jaden Reichen, Karen Self, and the Sentinels. Depending on schedules, Max Preps has them with a record of 4-4. Their last outing was a 53-46 loss to Push Ridge Christian Academy, and they welcome in the Gilbert Christian Knights. They are 6-3 on the year, coming off a big win at Yuma Catholic. Actually, it was in a tournament by the count of 41-38. Gilbert Christian got plenty of size, and for Seton, for Karen Self, a very young team, Jaden, and they're still figuring it out in the early stages of the year.
And that's been the big challenge, and it's what they're going to continue to do all throughout this season and even future seasons if you want to look that far down the road. But the young talent that's here looks promising, and every game is just another chance to keep building on what they've already established.
And that is the case for a very young Sentinels team. They like to, of course, they like to push the pace, get up and down the floor, and they're going to be relentless in that pursuit. Starting lineups for the Sentinels is going to be number 1, freshman guard Sophia DiPuccio. Number 3, sharpshooter McKenna Iber, a three-point specialist. Number 15, Kalia Bowler, a freshman shooting guard. Number 21, Giovanna Descala, outstanding athlete. And number 23, Emmy Hall. On the other side for Gilbert Christian, they're going to go with number 4, Lily Dutzman, a junior 5'8" statue. Number 14, Alyssa Cervantes, a junior at 5'5". Number 15, Addie Hansen, a junior. Number 23, Mia Hedan Ruiz, and Addie Bailey. This Gilbert Christian team, 6-3, big win, putting up 46 points. They pound the glass, Jaden. 38 rebounds, and you can tell by their size on the floor, they've got plenty. So Seton, of course, we kind of talked about it. It's going to be a tale of two different kind of styles. Seton's going to try to run Gilbert Christian off the floor. The Knights are going to try to work the half-court game and try to pound the Sentinels into submission. And the Sentinels win the tip, and they work it. DiPuccio with that quick move, and DiPuccio, tremendous start with the little floater on the outside. And that's a great start for Seton. DiPuccio, of course, she is the younger sister of Mia DiPuccio, who's now playing in the college circuit, and Sophia's got great handles, and she's going to blossom into one of the best guards in the state. But right now, a freshman learning as she goes in a very competitive 3A division. And Gilbert Christian now with their first offensive set of this half. And as you can see, they've got a lot of size, and they're not afraid to work the post, and that is knocked out of bounds by number 15. Addie Hansen gave it a look, and Seton comes up with the rebound.
And when Hansen kind of towers over everybody in the paint, it's not hard to understand why they're averaging 38 rebounds a game.
Gilbert Christian is only putting up a hair over 46, so, you know, this is a team that has got tremendous size, and you can tell the size differential, and they're still figuring it out. Third-year coach, that is off the mark. Emmy Hall rips the rebound. Giovanna Descala, so poised now as a sophomore. Last year she would have panicked, and Iber from up top misses, and that trickles out of bounds. So in his third year as head coach, Mark Dutzman talked about his team and the growth and the maturation. Of course, he spent 17 years coaching in the high school circuit in Colorado. When the Gilbert Christian AD job jumped out of it, he says, you know what? Let me go down to Arizona, let me defrost, and let me take a great gig. And he is now in his third year leading this program. And he's got a team that has got ample potential. Big thing is, can they figure it out at the guard position? They're only shooting a little over 20% from 3, so the bulk of their work is down low in the blocks. They work it on the wing. 4 on the shot clock. The Seton defense coming up big, and Gilbert Christian locked up by their own admission. Just fell asleep.
Yeah, they weren't really looking to shoot there. It was just pass, pass, pass. Not a lot of eyes on the rim. That's a pretty good start for Seton.
Great defensive sequence by the Sentinels. Iber working the top of the key. Iber will dish it out to DiPuccio, and DiPuccio has it knocked away. Good defense by Gilbert Christian. A good one-on-one tight defense by Alyssa Cervantes. 17 on the shot clock. This one just underway. So glad you can join us from the campus of Chandler Prep. Scenes home away from home. DiPuccio. Iber will fire it up, and Iber high off the backboard, and it's going back the other way. So both teams in the early stages of this first period. And Jaden, right now, both teams just trying to get into a better offensive rhythm.
And now Seton's pressing all the way up. Iber 0 for 2 from the three-point range. She's had 32 on the season so far, so not the strongest beginning for her, but obviously more chances await.
Gilbert Christian now trying to get into their good offensive set after violating the shot clock last time out, and that was a good attempt on the scoop shot by Cervantes. Emmy Hall inserted into the starting lineup, coming up with the rebound and opportunity, little floater on the outside, and that's gonna knock around the rim. Hall saves it. Descala, Iber up top, and Iber, bang! And Iber with a good long-range look. And it's a 5-0 Seton advantage. And you can tell the Sentinels doing what they do. Doesn't matter the personnel. They're going to press in the backcourt. They're going to trap. DiPuccio, one-on-one opportunity. DiPuccio will miss. Pulled down by Lily Dutzman, the daughter of the head coach, Mark Dutzman.
And I think Gilbert Christian's really got to just slow things down right now. And they take a timeout. They're going to try and reset it because they have the advantage on height, and they're going to be able to move the ball down court, but they're just kind of making bad passes. They're rushing everything. They're just forcing looks that aren't necessarily there.
And we're seeing a lot of their post bodies right now. You're finding them like deep out in the perimeter. And let's be honest, when you have a three-point shooting percentage of 20-something and you've got that height advantage, you figure you want your bigger bodies down lower in the blocks. You got to figure Cervantes is going to be the ball handler, and she's going to be distributing. She's going to try to, in a perfect universe for them, she's going to try to dribble, penetrate, get deep into the post, and then dish off to one of the three bigs that have got the size advantage no matter who they're matched up against. So we haven't seen that yet, but you got to figure that's the talk of this conversation for Coach Dutzman coming out of the timeout. Cervantes, and also now in the game is Milo Russo, and you got to figure Russo is going to be handling the basketball a lot. So they've got three bigs on the court. Russo is the other potential guard who can handle it, and we see Hansen with some good handles. And Hansen is blocked. Good defense by the Sentinels. That's Bowler going the other way. Iber opportunity. Little fake, it works up top to DiPuccio. DiPuccio, Bowler will let it go from three, and DeBowler, bang!
Two-way player.
Nice stroke by Kalia Bowler. 8-0 Sentinels, and finally, Gilbert Christian gets on the board courtesy of Addie Bailey from point-blank range. Iber gets picked up immediately in transition. And that's what I love about Emmy Hall. Emmy Hall is a battler out there. She does all the little things. She's scrappy. She can hit a shot or two every now and then, but she battles, and that's what I'm so happy that Emmy Hall has gained the opportunity. She did some nice things as a freshman. Descalo misses from long range as Dutzman comes up with a rebound. Now Cervantes up the floor, but Emmy Hall is a big-time motor, and that is what this Sentinels team needs. They've got shooters. Bowler's tough as Dutzman knocks it in. It's now an 8-4 Seton advantage. Sentinels, of course, sometimes they live and die by shooting from long range. Bowler is down in the blocks. Iber working top of the key. The switch out to DiPuccio will let it fly from three. And how about Sophia ringing it? She's got a quick 5. 11-4 Sentinels advantage. Gilbert Christian the other way. And you can tell by the awkwardness just up the floor that in the hands of Addie Hansen didn't know quite what to do with it, whether to hold or dribble. And that's a good look. That's a catch and shoot. A pretty move by Lily Dutzman. 11-6, Sentinels with a 5-point advantage. Descala, we've only yet to see her get on track. She's more than capable, has turned into a decent shooter. But here's an athlete who came in as a freshman last year, Jaden, very raw. And she spent hours and hours and hours working on her game. One of the best athletes on campus on the female side. but it comes with nonstop work and ethic, and that tremendous work ethic, I should say, and you have to applaud a player like that. Iber, another opportunity. Iber in and out. Ripped down by Addie Hansen. And here comes Lily Dutzman, who's shown the hot hand, and a bad pass down the court.
That's part of that out of control kind of rush that I was just talking about. Is she has the ball, she had an opportunity to take it farther up the court and just throws one down for no reason, really. And that's just what they have to kind of stop doing. They've been able to get back on the board, bring it within 5. The offense can get going. Just complete the easy part, taking it up the court.
DiPuccio gets locked up, drops it to Emmy Hall. Emmy driving in, and Emmy draws the foul. And I love the quick move by Emmy. Going strong, and they're going to call the foul on Addie Hansen. That's going to be her first. And that's the first team foul in what has been a very quick and clean first period. They work it inside. Bowler out to Emmy. Sofia Barrios now in the game, who's one of my favorite players. She'll give you everything in her tank. Iber picked up. They work it to Emmy. Good passing by Seton, and it leads to Iber knocking down the triple. Her second in the first. The lead is 8 for the Sentinels. And that was just great ball movement, Jaden. You can't script it better than that. Cervantes with Iber in a 50-50 battle. Dutzman with the height advantage over to Puccio. Hansen down low. Cervantes cutting. Oh, and it's Gilbert Christian with a great ball movement and the bucket.
Great positioning as well to just get that to Bailey, using her height to her advantage. Put her in the paint, let her get large.
We got about 42 seconds remaining in the first. And how about Iber drawing the foul? A very instinctive player in McKenna Iber. And they're going to call the foul on Bailey. That's going to be her first, and Iber going to the line. A young lady more than capable of stroking the three and knocking down free throws. And here is just a incredible young player, a freshman. Great range on the floor. Kalia Bowler as well. Sophia DiPuccio. I mean, we're talking about 3 impact freshmen coming in for Karen Self's team and really contributing, and that's a great sign. Iber connects on 1 and 2. She's got 7. The lead is 7 for the Sentinels. Shot clock to game clock differential is about 4 seconds. They work it to Dutzman up top. Dutzman, 15 in the shot clock. Dutzman turns around, knocks it off the glass. Bowler with a rebound. Bowler full throttle and puts it in. Kalia Bowler driving with a purpose.
Someone's got to get in her way on defense. It was just go around 3 nights for the basket. Too easy.
And Hansen misses at the buzzer, and the Sentinels take a 17-8 lead after 1. And Iber with 7 points, Bowler with 5, and Sophia DiPuccio with 6. So we talk about the 3 freshmen, Jaden, stepping in for this program, and the 3 freshmen delivered the goods after 1.
It was an amazing performance from them. I mean, you know, they just got off to a good start. They were passing it so well on offense, getting those open looks, and then for a Gilbert Christian team that's so good at rebounding, they did a pretty good job defensively trying to push the ball out and keep a hold of it as well. I thought that this was a good look for them playing against a team that has that defensive advantage typically, and Seton really playing against them very well.
And the big thing for me, as we talked about that one timeout Gilbert Christian had, they came out and head coach Matt Dutzman made it a point, and we saw that. Cervantes driving deep in the paint, and then finally giving the easy touch to Addie Bailey, who knocked it in off the glass. And I think for Gilbert Christian to be effective in this game, they've got to do that, and they've got to be able to set better screens for Lily Dutzman, who's capable of shooting the basketball, but she needs help. She just can't drive and shoot when she sees multiple defenders on her. The team's got to wake up and do a better job of setting screens, and that's going to be a foul on Bowler. And Addie Bailey gets bailed out as Bowler will pick up her first.
First foul for the Sentinels all game. Very clean start for them.
But as we talked about, for Gilbert Christian right now, of course they're playing without Tylee Fox, who's an integral part of their team, and we haven't seen her play. We don't know what her handles and skill set is, but it seems like right now, Jaden, everything for Gilbert Christian just getting over the half-court line is a struggle. And right now they've got to be more decisive in their guard play and realize they're going to be trapped in the backcourt, and they've got to do everything they can and work 2 dribblers up the floor every single time to try to beat the Seton backcourt press. Is DiPuccio. Barrios thought about it. They work it to Bowler. Back to DiPuccio. Iber up top. Iber, a couple dribbles. DiPuccio, a little one-on-one battle. Good head fake and the runner off the back of the iron. Pulled down by Addie Bailey. And that is mishandled by Milo Russo. So even when Gilbert Christian has a good defensive possession, once again, handling the basketball, a struggle. Descala back in, Barrios out. Giovanna, an amazing flag football athlete. I think you can put Giovanna Descala on any female sports team at Seton, and she's going to be one of the best athletes on the team every single time. Like I said, we talked about her coming out freshman year, and that's great execution by Gilbert Christian. They just don't hit the basket at the rim. Bowler, floater. And how about that? Kalia now with 7 points. The lead is 9 for the Sentinels. And Alyssa Cervantes, who's averaging 4 points a contest, has got to do a better job of dribble penetrating and setting up her team. And right now, everything we're seeing from Gilbert Christian, it's like they're giving up the dribble so deep out in the perimeter, and they get bailed out of a foul with 9 seconds on the shot clock, as Sophia Lenartz will pick up her first. But everything is laborious. I mean, they're giving up the dribble outside the perimeter. Nothing is like worked inside. There's not that extra pass. No screens are being set, and I'm sure that's going to be a point of emphasis for Mark Dutzman and his team at the half.
Also picking up their ball, turning their backs to the board. And I mean, that's how you play it right there. Get the inbound to your big guys down low. But it's not dribbling outside, picking it up, and waiting for somebody else to come take the ball. That's not what's going to work for this team.
So a good execution by Gilbert Christian on their last possession as they work it inside. And Bailey with the bank off the glass, and that's going to be a foul against Seton. And that's going to be on Kalia Buller, and that's going to be her second. And of course, Karen Self's going to leave one of her best players on the court. If she gets a third quickly, she could be sitting. Bowler is one of those players as Emmy Hall comes up with a steal. DiPuccio down court, and Giovanna pulls it back out. Sophia, driving move. Sophia. Oh, yes. And the kiss. She's got 8 points, and that was a good, decisive move. And that's something we wouldn't have seen from Sophia probably about 3 weeks ago. But she understands her first step is going to be better than 85% of her competition because she is so electric with the ball in her hands, and she's got the ability to win on that first step. That time airs it out. But Iber is there. Emmy Hall, smooth enough to get it back out, and the Sentinels reset their offense. Bowler with Dutzman on her. Little one-on-one battle. Iber in the corner. Iber off the side of the iron. Dutzman with the rebound, outworking Emmy, who gave it a good opportunity. Descala up the floor. Cervantes swings it over to Dutzman. DiPuccio, great defense as it's worked around. Cervantes dumped down in the post, and then right there, we talk about the mismatch. You know, if you're Addie Bailey, you've got the size on Emmy Hall. You got to post her up and try to take that shot. And they work it outside, and that's off the glass. Rebound, close range, and Sentinels defensively hold their own as Bowler goes back up, and Bowler will light it up from 3, and that's going to be off the side of the iron. But Emmy Hall.
Where's the hustle? You just walk into the rebound. You got to put a little bit more energy into your play. You're standing on offense. You're standing on defense. Move around a little bit.
And that is the thing right now. Bowler cutting And Bowler got there, just could not finish. Rebound by Dutzman. Here come the Knights, and they're going to call a blocking foul on Bowler. That's her third. And Bowler is going to have to sit. And checking in is going to be Sophia Lenartz as Bowler will take a breather. Emmy Hall also checking out. Barrios back in. Checking out is Addie Bailey. Bailey providing some size and muscle inside. Dutzman off the inbounds. Dutzman works it to Miley Heron Ruiz. Swings it over to Cervantes. Cervantes, they try to go inside.
That's a bad pass.
DiPuccio in transition. DiPuccio swings it in the corner. That is off the mark. Good look. Giovanna just couldn't knock it down. Cervantes the other way. Cervantes almost lost the handle. And they're going to call the foul on Giovanna on the reach in. So the Sentinels now with 5 personal fouls. That's going to put Gilbert Christian in the bonus. The Knights will go to the line. Cervantes, a 50% free throw shooter. Sentinels with a 21-10 lead, but now Bowler on the bench. They're going to have to try to persevere in the next 3 and change without arguably their best player. And that's off the mark by Cervantes. But a good learning moment for the Sentinels as Sophia Lenartz has an opportunity to step in and make some plays. And Cervantes knocks that one high off the glass. Sentinels up by 10. Iber gets the good screen. That's going to be off a body and good steal by Addie Hansen. Cervantes almost got away with a carry. Actually, she did. Now it's Descala the other way. Right now, both teams a little on the sloppy side. Barrios will work it to DiPuccio, and DiPuccio gets called for the travel. So both teams in their last offensive sets, not one for their playbook and not one that they're going to pass down from class to class on perfect execution.
No, it's really like the Knights don't want the ball. The second they get it, it's passed to somebody else. No matter how contested it is, I don't want to hear you take it. And they just got to hold on to it a little bit more. Just try and get a look instead of just getting it and being so afraid to try and take it up the court or even put up a shot.
See, like that right there for me, Alyssa Cervantes, she's got one-on-one, and she's giving up the dribble, 10 feet away from the three-point line.
That's it right there. That's what's going to get you success.
And Dutzman puts it in, and Gilbert Christian has got to understand they've got the size advantage as DiPuccio slices through. The lead is 10. About to check back in is Addie Bailey. Bailey with 6 first half points. Sentinels up 10. And doing a really nice job of locking down Gilbert Christian. Sentinels will pressure the ball, and they're really forcing Gilbert Christian deep in the perimeter. Shot clock at 10. Cervantes had the opportunity, throws it up, and that is nowhere close. She had the perfect elbow jumper and decided to head fake and draw closer. Iber, couple dribbles. Iber will float it up. And nice play by McKenna Iber. They're going to call the foul on Cervantes. That's her first.
Iber, she's such a versatile player. I mean, she's pulled up on some contested shots, and they've actually been pretty on the mark. And then she goes inside, and she just slices around. I mean, it almost just feels like she's got this great little map she's following. And if she makes a cut this way, it's an easy take to the basket. I've loved her play style so far in this matchup. It's been very impressive.
What I like about her, too, is that you can tell that she can, if she was forced into handling the basketball up the court, she can do it. She's so good and poised of handling the basketball and the half-court sets as well as shooting, but more than capable of bringing the ball up the floor, and that's going to be vital. if Sophia DiPuccio ever gets in foul trouble, which we saw against Human Catholic earlier this season. So McKenna Iber, poised as a freshman, can shoot from the outside, and just an valuable, integral part of this team that is so versatile that can do so many things. So 23-13, Sentinels getting ample contributions. DiPuccio with 10 points, Iber with 7 and a free throw remaining, and Bowler with 7, but right now Bowler is in foul trouble. So kind of talked about Seton having to persevere without Bowler right now, and you know, so far they're running the gamut, and so far they're doing just enough. And on the other side, I think we're just waiting for Gilbert Christian to start imposing their size a little bit and getting the ball deeper in the post. Once again, it's almost startling to see the Knights just give up their dribble so far. You know, they cross the half-court line, you put a body on them, and they're giving up the dribble.
Immediate. It feels like 60% at least of their game is played out at the logo. They're not getting anywhere near the inside, near their money game. That's what they've got to do more of.
And Iber gets the roll. McKenna now with 8 points, so the Fab Three, the freshman diaper dandings all delivering. Emmy Hall with the nice smack. Clean tip as Gilbert Christian gets it back. Almost a steal by Discala. Dutzman, who's been more than capable, and that's almost a carry by Addie Hansen. Down low, Dutzman. And follows her shot and the putback, and that's going to be a foul against Iber. Unless they call the So this is, once again, for Gilbert Christian. I think the young ladies are also being kind of versed on what's happening on the floor as well.
Absolutely.
So Dutzman got the basket, and she didn't know she was going to go to the line. This is a team that they've got athletes that play multiple sports. Maybe basketball is not their number one sport, but for someone like Lily Dutzman, who's only a junior, you know, she's got some skill, and she fine-tuned that a little bit. You never know what she could do. She's got great height and could be an asset somewhere at the college level. Iber will fire it up. Iber, that won't go. And that's going to be Seton ball, and that's just great hustle right there by Sophia Lenartz, who knocked the ball off of a Gilbert Christian defender.
A Gilbert Christian defender also probably at least 2 feet taller than her.
It's almost amazing. I mean, at Gilbert Christian, all you got to do is block out and go up for the ball, and you're going to win these battles. This is a Gilbert Christian team that's averaging, we talked about the rebounding edge, 38 rebounds per game, and right now, you wouldn't tell they have the size advantage. Dutzman gets it across, worked to Addie Hansen. Hansen gives up the dribble at the three-point line. We've seen a lot of that. She sets a good screen. Worked to Ruiz, and a travel call against Gilbert Christian. 43.4 seconds, so the Sentinels can eat up 35 seconds, and who knows, maybe come up with a steal and get another opportunity. DiPuccio will work at Iber. Discala thought about it for a split second. DiPuccio, no hesitation. And DiPuccio off the side of the iron. Emmy Hall trying to track it down. A battle on the baseline, and it's going to go the other way. So Gilbert Christian will get the final shot with 23.2 seconds left. Sentinels with a 9-point lead.
Now Seton wants the full court press. They want it back.
Addie Hansen laboring to get it across. Worked over to Ruiz. Iber on her. Dutzman one-on-one against DiPuccio. Strong move. That's off the side of the backboard, but Emmy Hall will pick up the foul. And that was a good decisive move by Addie Hansen. And for Hansen, once again, big girl, get a little deeper in the post. Hansen at the line, a 50% free throw shooter.
Coming into this game, the Knights have only taken 17 free throw attempts. They're not a team that finds themselves at the line all that often.
You know, and I got to tell you, it's almost mind-boggling in a sense because of their size advantage. It's going to be a loose ball foul on Addie Bailey. That's her second, so the Sentinels can play for the final shot. DiPuccio, Discala, will fire it up. And that's going to be almost banked in. And that's going to end the first half. The Sentinels with a 24-15 halftime lead. And, you know, we talked about the Sentinels' big three, the freshman delivering. DiPuccio with 10 points, Iber with 8, and Bowler, who was in foul trouble, she had 7, so the big three coming up big.
A slower second quarter, honestly. Only 7 points from the Sentinels. That matches exactly what the Knights put up on the board, so they split it evenly, and they're trying to get back into it, and I think there was still so much room for improvement for the Knights. But the one big takeaway I have from half number one is really how important Tylee Fox is to this team, and without her, how they kind of have to adapt and learn how to play without their best player out on the court.
So we're going to take a short timeout. Coming up, Matthew Henshaw, the new head coach of the Seton Catholic basketball team. Make that the football team. Sorry, I'm in basketball mode. The football team's going to join us, and we're going to break down his thoughts on becoming the new head coach of the Sentinels. Stick and stay. More from Chandler Prep on the Seton Catholic Sports Network. And we welcome you back to the campus of Chandler Prep. Halftime, the Sentinels leading Gilbert Christian by the count of 24-15. I am proud to be joined by the new head coach of the Seton Catholic football team, Matt Henshaw. Coach, congratulations on becoming the Sentinels' new coach. And what has the last week been like for you?
Thank you very much. Last week's been chaotic in the absolute best way. When I got announced last Tuesday, I've had calls, texts, messages, coaches reaching out, parents, kids, the community reaching out, and it's been crazy in the best way.
And that's always a good thing because the enthusiasm, the excitement is building for you coming over and starting your tenure. That being said, you spent a good time at Pinnacle. Your team was always in the state championship hunt for years. I want to get your thoughts on your run at Pinnacle, what you accomplished in your time there, and then we'll kind of touch on the future at Seton.
Yes, sir. My 9 years at Pinnacle has been the best 9 years of my career. I'm very thankful to Coach Zupke and the leadership he provided me and the opportunities for advancement. I started out as a JV offensive coordinator at Pinnacle, moving up. Last 5 years, I've been the varsity offensive coordinator and assistant head coach there, and it's been incredible. We were blessed with tons of talent and a ton of great kids, and I got to learn from kids, and I've had great coaches that I've coached with, and it's just been a privilege to be at Pinnacle, but I'm so excited to be here at Seton.
So you have been under the great tutelage of one of the best and most respected coaches inside the state. So now you've waited your time, and you've waited for this opportunity to finally become a head coach of a football program inside the state. What's that feeling like to finally, after paying your dues, to see that come to fruition?
It's so exciting. I'm an ultimate competitor, and I'm excited to be out on my own and lead my own program and put my stamp on, a program like Seton Catholic and continue the tradition of excellence that is Seton Catholic football.
And that is a good thing for all those young, inspiring football players to hear out there. So, give us kind of like your 90-day mission statement of checked marks of things you're trying to accomplish along the way before spring ball starts, and that would be, as you and I discussed earlier, in April.
Yes, sir. First thing's going to be hiring staff. I need coaches. getting coaches is going to be the most important thing. I've got interviews lined up next week. I've got about six gentlemen I'm talking to, hoping to find staff. And then as soon as I've actually got a parent meeting tonight, and then I will be on Seton campus next semester. So it's going to be meeting all the kids, learning about all the kids, having one-on-one meetings with them, ordering everything we need, all the equipment, just hit the ground running and try and figure out every facet of the program I can.
Got it. So building the staff, paramount to get things in place. And I know, because I've covered Seton long enough, there are a slew of untapped athletes out there. And they need to be worked into football.
Yes, sir.
How does Matt Henshaw go around and make sure that, are you banging on lockers, you're walking the corridors? How are you going to get some of these young men to step on the football field?
That is exactly it, right? I've got to be a face on campus that kids can see, and I'm banging on doors, going in the classrooms, meeting kids, being public during the school day so kids can see me. They can come up to me, just greeting and telling everybody, hey, we're going to practice hard, but we're going to be fast, fun, and physical. And if you want to be a part of that, come join, and it's going to be a good time.
Matt Henshaw is essentially going to be doing this. I want you.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so now give us a little bit of your philosophy. Let's start defensively. When young men put on those pads and the helmets for Seton defensively, what you're going to expect from them?
We're going to be a tough bend but don't break defense, right? We're going to probably be nickel-based. So we're going to play 5 DBs, whether that's a 3-3 odd stack or that's a 4-2-5 structure. We're going to be tough, physical. We're going to tackle well. We're going to fly to the ball. We're going to pursue the ball. And then, like I said, we're just going to be tough and physical.
Okay, on the other side, let's go offensively. For our people that want to drive the ball down the field and get in the end zone, what can fans expect from Seton offensively?
We're going to be multiple spread. I can line up. We'll be able to line up in 10 personnel or 11 personnel or 12 personnel. We're going to run the ball. We're going to throw the ball. I'm going to try and be 50-50 run to pass, but we're going to be fast. We're going to move. We're going to be multiple formations. We're going to present multiple problems to opposing defenses.
And Matt, before I let you go, this is your opportunity to give kind of like Seton Nation a little shout out right here, and anything you want to say to the families, the young men on campus, to Seton Nation. You've got the floor. Go.
I am so excited to be part of the Seton Catholic football program, to be your head coach. Like I said, we're going to be fast. We're going to be fun. We're going to be physical. It's going to be a great time, and I can't wait for the fall. I'm so excited.
That is Matt Henshaw, the new head coach of Seton Catholic. Of course, spring football starts up in April. Make it out. Of course, he'd love to see you support the Sentinels and the enthusiasm for football. Look, we're in January or close to it. Soon enough, it's going to be September, and his boys are going to be knocking heads, looking to get the team back in the postseason. That is Matt Henshaw. Halftime will continue from the campus of Chandler Prep. Stick and stay. The second half, minutes away. Thanks, Coach.
Thank you, sir.
That was Matt Henshaw, the new head coach of the Seton Catholic football team. Joe Pequeno back on the floor with young Jaden Reichen. Sentinels with a 24-15 halftime lead. And Jaden, it wasn't a pretty first half. Both teams had their moments of offensive efficiencies, but the Sentinels doing just enough and with a 9-point lead as we begin this second frame.
The Sentinels are going to have to keep doing at least just enough, because surely the Knights making some halftime adjustments to get a little bit more active on offense. They only really scraped by in quarter number 2.
So they start offensively with Iber working it back to DiPuccio, and now it's Gilbert Christian showing a little bit more toughness on the one-on-one defense. DiPuccio, Iber will fire it up from long range, and that one rolls in and out. Pulled down, a vicious rip by Addie Bailey. And now Gilbert Christian, the Knights going on offense for the first time in this second half. Cervantes, and now what are we seeing now? We just saw Cervantes, but then she pulls the ball back out. I was just about to give them praise about working the ball a little deeper into the half court. And that time she worked it out, and that now they're under duress. 6 seconds on the shot clock, and Deuceman's way out there, and now she has to give up the shot, trying to dump it down low. And fortunately, they get bailed out, but that wasn't really a good offensive sequence by Gilbert Christian. So Bailey at the line will shoot a pair. She had 6 first half points. Bailey, a 29% free throw shooter. So if Seton was going to foul anyone, they did the right person as she connects on the first. I think this is going to be kind of a sluggish second half.
Yeah, I would agree.
And how about Bailey providing a big lift for her team, knocking both down?
Leads a team in scoring coming into this game. Was getting 6.6 boards a game. Been a little quieter so far.
Descala down to Emmy Hall with a quick move. Emmy will fire it up, and Emmy banks it in.
And that's how active she can really get. I mean, you talked about her so much in the first half, Joe, with just the improvement that she's brought to this team and how she can get physical and really get in there and put it in the hoop when she needs to. Hansen now over to the corner. Back outside. Not a lot of movement. Litzman to the right. Pass down low and then right back out. Nearly taken away, and shot clock expires. So Joe, another offensive possession where nothing really happens.
Well, once again, we saw it. They did the right thing. They dumped it down the post. Bailey is one-on-one against Emmy Hall. She has a foot size advantage, and Bailey doesn't try to win that battle. That's one dribble and the kiss, or the turnaround real quick. And right now, the bigs of Gilbert Christian, they've got to realize they've got the size advantage. They've got to use that size advantage as Bowler misses from point blank.
Get a second chance from the baseline. Inbound near corner shot, a little short from Descala. Brought up by Cervantes on the far side. Good kick out. Hansen didn't like the angle. 3 in the paint. Back down. Low shot and a good putback. That one misses as well. At least they're getting down low. Out of control pass. Bowler able to recover it. And now it's DiPuccio out wide. Gives it to Descala. Getting big to the rim. Off to the left.
And I got to say, there's no reason why Sophia DiPuccio should be beating anyone to the boards on that team. And Deuceman up and in. Deuceman with the good hard basket. Deuceman now with 10 points, and the lead is 7. And for Seton, look, I think really for Seton to get this victory, it's really just about having good ball movement and good shots and don't force anything. They're the better skilled team handling the basketball, and the better skilled team handling the basketball usually wins 99 to 100% of the time. And all they have to do is pressure Gilbert Christian in the backcourt. They're laboring to get the ball up the floor, and really it's only in that last possession or two that we've seen Gilbert Christian try to get the ball deep, and Dutzman, who's played big for them so far, keeping them in this game. It's only a 7-point advantage. And I think for Karen, as she's talking to her team on that other side, and you see Mark Dutzman talking to his team, it's a point of emphasis for Dutzman. Get the ball. Don't give up the dribble so far out of the post. I mean, they're giving it up so deep, and it's forcing them to get out of their offense. And for Seton, it's just about being quick, decisive, good passing. Don't give up easy possessions by turning the ball over.
For the Knights, we talked earlier when they were having explained, how the and one work. They're a team that's learning the game still, and I think a large part of that is the confidence that you learn as well. They might have the size to get physical down low, but they're not really comfortable yet getting big, and they like to prefer outside the 3 where it feels a little bit more safe. On the far side, deep shot. Bowlers bounces off and rebounded by Iber.
And once again, the Seton guards that are half the size of Gilbert Christian are winning those board battles. But now it's Gilbert Christian with an opportunity to draw that much closer. Only down 7. They work it up top to Hansen. Bowler at the line.
Good first shot. Puts the Sentinels up by 10. One for 2. And the Knights, it's not a gimme rebound there, so they're able to get that on the break. The cherry pick, and they'll take what they can get. Addie Bailey puts one in.
Bailey now with 10 points, and that's what they can do. They've got the ability to win that battle. All they got to do is, have someone sitting there and just dump the ball, and Bailey is more than capable, as she's shown. Nice touch off the glass. Hansen swings it to Cervantes.
Down low, tipped away. Bailey able to hold on. And when some of these passes are a little bit slower, it's easier for the Sentinels to kind of read and get a hand in there. That one just thrown straight to DiPuccio. And that's how you get out of a sticky situation. Dribble around, keep the arm by the ball. A good attempt from Descala, fighting for the putback. And Dutzman able to recover it.
And I love Giovanna's disposition. Shots aren't dropping, but she's still being aggressive and getting good looks. And eventually, one of those will drop.
Cervantes right in front of the foul line. Kicks it out. And a whistle called. Sentinels will get it right back. DiPuccio in control. Finds Bowler open. She has to step up and make her way to a deep shot from Iber. Into the hands of Dutzman. And Iber's taking a decent amount of 3-point shots today. All of them pretty on the money and well-ranged out shots. Down low, putting it back up, Bailey.
And we talk about Addie Bailey, right? I mean, she's got that ability. She's got nice, soft touch around the glass.
DiPuccio, right side off the square.
She's got 16 points.
Hansen back to the board, all the way out at the logo, finds it somehow over to Russo. And that one goes against Descala.
Yeah, Descala got caught for the reach in as Emmy Hall goes back in. Lenart's putting in some good minutes. Sentinels up by 8.
Hansen on the inbound. Throws it down low, and Dutzman just misread the connection there because there wasn't a Knight making an attempt for the ball.
Yeah, that's a big thing right there. If you're Addie Bailey, you got to be facing your passer, right? I mean, she had Iber on her. She's got the mismatch. All she's got to do is face Dutzman, get the opportunity, and then turn around and bank it in. Missed opportunity by Gilbert Christian.
Iber drills it. Sentinels pull ahead to an 11-point lead just as the Knights were trying to get back into it, and that one Critical error. Hansen thought she had the cut and throws it into the stands.
Iber now with 11 points. So the big for three really coming up big. DiPuccio with 16, Iber with 11, Bowler with 8.
Bowler trying to pound the rock to the right, little shy. And she still stepped through 3 defenders and had a pretty clean look. One of the shortest members on the team. People got to step in front, get wide, hands up in the air. Ball all the way back at the logo still as Addie Bailey steps back even further. Pass up now to Hansen. Hansen down low, underneath the basket. The jump ball. Knights will keep it.
Once again, you gotta love what Emmy Hall's bringing to the team. Aggressiveness, a fierceness, the ability to do whatever's necessary on the floor. Karen Self is claiming the ball hit the bottom of the backboard.
Well, it clearly did. They just let the play continue after that, so the clock will get. Clock will be left alone for the time being. Pass thrown in. Bailey tried to throw one in, but not before she would get pushed.
And I love it. I think Gilbert Christian, it took him about, 2.5 quarters to figure out. Post Addie Bailey up and good things are going to happen. She's got good touch around the rim. And she has shown the ability to hit her free throws as well.
That one.
As I do, I give her the announcer curse. Lenardson, Emmy Hall out.
On the second, Bailey makes it in. 10 seconds left. Good takeaway from Dutzman, throws it down court. An opportunity to make something happen. High throw for Hansen, and that one goes out. And so, time wasn't on your side there, but a little too out of control still with about 10 seconds to try and make a play. That one just not there.
DiPuccio at the buzzer, and that's going to be short. So after 3, it's 36-26. Sentinels up 10. DiPuccio with 6 in the third to pace the Sentinels, and what a night she's having. 16 points. Iber with 3 threes. She has 11, and Bowler, who's battled some foul trouble, she has 8. So the Sentinels, this one hasn't been pretty, but it's one of those learning curves to face a team that has the size advantage and to still play good enough to kind of grind their way through a victory. And for Gilbert Christian, I think this is kind of a game where they're still trying to figure out what's happening on the floor and how to execute. I think we saw a better execution by getting Addie Bailey the ball, and she's been great in this game. She has 13 points, and she put up 7 in the third. Point-blank looks. And when the Sentinels lost to Yuma Catholic, and surprisingly, Gilbert Christian beat Yuma Catholic.
Yep.
And I think Yuma Catholic is more skilled. But look, you can say that on any given night. Any given night, one team can look better than another team. But they beat Yuma Catholic, which beat Seton earlier this year. And Yuma Catholic, they had a player very similar to Addie Bailey, who just posted right around the rim, and all she did, kiss, 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 and banked to perfection off the glass.
The progress will come within the 4 quarters in the game, but it really stacks up throughout the season. So without Tylee Fox, this is a game where you just get different looks, and you're going to try and win and be competitive, of course, but it's the progression for your players is almost the true goal as a travel gets called against Cervantes. And I mean, that's one right there too, where it's like, okay, you traveled. How can you correct that moving forward and kind of learn the better way to take it up the court and not just dribble full speed and then try and stop so quickly you end up traveling.
Sentinels now trying to pound the ball inside, and Descala finally gets a little runner, and I love to see that for Giovanna. It's been a tough shooting night, but it seemed like every shot she's had has been right around the rim. That time, a little runner in the baseline that drops in. Dutzman trying to beat the 10-second clock, and she does barely. They work inside. My goodness. The Joe Pequeno playbook is finally taken light here for Gilbert Christian. The other side, Escala, wild shot, Dutzman. Now, here's the thing. If I'm Gilbert Christian, this is what I would do. Dutzman, Cervantes up the floor, running it and not giving the ball up so deep like Dutzman just did. She's more than capable. Hansen on the left end. Dutzman down low. One-on-one battle. She's got the size, and Dutzman's going to win that battle. So right now, young Jaden, it's really about Gilbert Christian. They've got enough skill to claw into this deficit, and that's going to be a travel against Giovanna Escala.
Going a little run here that surely puts you back into it a little bit more. I mean, they've been basically having 10-ish point quarters, so still down by 8. They're going to have to continue to be productive, but the passes, I mean, you just dribble it right past half court. You do 1-2 passes to Bailey down low, and I mean, it's money every time.
Yeah, I mean, look, and Dutzman's skilled enough around the rim to get her own shot. So it's like between Dutzman and Bailey, they've got enough there. And for Seton, look, what we're seeing from their guard play, we've seen DiPuccio quick step right past Gilbert Christian. It's almost as if Gilbert Christian is not moving. Anytime that Seton makes that quick first step. Iber's slick enough to create her own shot on the 3, and Bowler is aggressive enough down low, and she's slicing and getting to the rim at will. So it's a matter of wills right now on both sides. Who's got enough in the tank? Hansen up the floor, doing a nice job, and she got away, or it was very close to a travel. Cervantes, who's going to have to play very big in this final stretch, handling the basketball. Ruiz, Hansen up top. They work it to Cervantes, down low. Bailey gives it back. They go back to Bailey, and Sophia Lenartz comes up with a steal. And I don't know why Bailey gave the ball back, but she did. Other way, Iber will fire it up, and Iber connects on the 3. McKenna Iber, her 4th 3 of the night. Iber, big time.
She's just always ready to shoot it. Doesn't matter the part of the court, she's prepared.
Cervantes misses the runner at the rim. It's DiPuccio on that left side. DiPuccio, as we talked about,
great move.
Slicing right through. She's got 18. And once again, Jaden, it's almost like Gilbert Christian. It's almost as if they need to be oiled and greased up a little bit, like they're kind of locked in and not moving, right? That's a situation right there where Bailey's got the size. She could have swatted that shot, but didn't. She just let DiPuccio go right by her.
And honestly, I mean, that is experience. It'll come with time, and you know, the more you encourage it, the more you're going to see it. So I think a big takeaway for them, obviously, is to be more active on offense and defense, moving around, but it's just not going to change within 4 quarters. So every little increment that they can do that, I think that's going to be a positive for them.
Absolutely. Still plenty of time, 5 and change. Bowler, top of the key, picked up by Dutzman. A one-on-one battle, Bowler driving. Bowler won't go. Loose ball on the baseline. Picked up by Ruiz. Ruiz, she'll decide to take it up the floor and quickly gets it over to Cervantes. Cervantes, Descala on that wing. Hansen gives up the dribble with Bowler on her. Cervantes tries to scoop it up, and she'll go to the line as Descala gets called for the reach-in. But that was good. I mean, that was getting deep into the post and not settling for a bad shot, and Cervantes has shown her touch right around the rim.
Doing a move as well. I mean, I think that's one thing with the hesitation with younger players. I know I was like this back in my day, but sometimes when you're one of the bigger fellas and you get the rebound, sometimes if you're not confident, you're afraid to just go back up with it. I think that when they get the ball down low, we saw with Bailey, she just passes it out. You can draw that foul, just turn around and utilize your size.
So she misses on both, and the Sentinels will take possession. Note to self, look up Jaden Reichen YouTube highlight reel for highlights at Basha High.
Well, so before that,
you will be called, well, whatever middle school, I'm not, if there's something streaming from your young fella days back in the day in the young prep circuit, let me know. Bowler guarded by Dutzman. 4:30 left, and Karen Self will call a timeout. And Karen's great at that. Sometimes, you just got to reflect your offense. And she's got a sizable lead, 17 on the shot clock. And right now, Karen, she's just not dialing up for a good possession in these 17 seconds, but she's going to reset her team defensively for a possible trap and steal and maybe make it a 5 or a 4-point swing in this possession coming out of the timeout.
And it's just that no mistakes mentality at any point of the game. We're not going to fall asleep just because it's the 4th and we're up by 13. You play until that final second and you play at the highest level of intensity, and that's what's really going to prepare you for a tougher team down the stretch. And I just like her attentiveness there to still read that, to make the timeout even though they could probably let the clock keep rolling and pretty reasonably walk out here with the win. She's going to stop it, reset, and try and correct the issue now.
Nobody works timeout better than Karen Self in a basketball game. She has such a temperature gauge of her team as Descala fires it up, and Descala from 3. Giovanna, 5 fourth period points, and the lead is 16. So we talk about the timeout, resetting her team, and now it leads to almost a near turnover. And they get it to Dutzman, who's been a calming force. She works off a screen. They dump it down low, and she was looking for the big body and Addie Bailey, and right now it's Dutzman and Bailey just trying to save the team. Descala works it. Iber's got a good clean look. Little shot from the outside, top of the backboard, and drops in.
Is that legal?
I guess in this one, I mean, if she called horse, it's going to drop and count. So give Lenartz a bucket. The lead is 18. And right now the Sentinels are cruising. They're 3:30 away from another victory. DiPuccio, good defense as Dutzman with a good spin and drive in. Dutzman has been a force for this team. She's got 14 points. Dutzman coming in, was averaging 7 and 12, and she's got 14 on the night. DiPuccio will work the top of the key. Bowler and Dutzman, that's been a good battle all night. Iber into the lane. Iber will float it to the corner. Descala, another 3. Descala off the front of the iron. Bailey is there, works it to Dutzman. Under 3 minutes left, Hansen. And right now, Gilbert Christian running out of time. Iber down the floor. Bowler, no hesitation. Bowler strong and won't go. Good defense by Hansen. Gilbert Christian not giving up. They are fighting to the final second. Dutzman over to Ruiz. They dump it to Bailey. Bailey tries to go up and follows her shot and misses the bunny. And they're going to call the offensive foul on Bailey. And you know what? I'm going to have to disagree with that one. I think Bailey is deep in the post. She's getting the rebounds, and I didn't see an elbow flaring anywhere, but, the referees saw it the other way. And our referees, deep in this one, is Ben Thibodeau and Kyrona Roanhorse. Emmy Hall, who's provided some tough physical minutes for this one, and Emmy's trying to post it up. DiPuccio, Giovanna works off a screen. They work it to Bowler up top. Bowler swings it to Emmy. Emmy, good, strong, aggressive move, and Emmy draws the contact. And they're going to call the foul on Addie Bailey, and that's going to be her 4th.
Just another great showing there of what Hall brings to this team and her ability to utilize some of the more physical moves that a team like Gilbert Christian isn't ready for.
Descala in and out from the corner. Another good look. I mean, look, she's not missing badly. Her shots are right around the rim every single time.
And those are shots you're going to be happy with your players taking when they're
Absolutely.
open, clean looks.
Dutzman gives it up way past the three-point line. Hansen, Bowler, one-on-one. Dutzman with DiPuccio there. They dump it down to Cervantes. Cervantes scoops it up and scoops and scores. Cervantes with the bucket. She's got 5 points. The lead is 14 for the Sentinels. 1:28 remaining. And for Karen Self and the Sentinels, every game it seems they face a different contrasting style in 3A. This one, they faced a team with bigger size and bigger bodies, and credit to the Sentinels. Here they are, under 2 minutes left, Jaden, and they're closing in on another victory.
And this is a game that I think they've really played it well because, they're going up against a team that is not the powerhouse in 3A. It's a team that has maybe beaten an opponent that the Sentinels have not, but that isn't representative of every single game. You mentioned that day-to-day kind of atmosphere that the team can bring, but they've got good looks. They've been able to step in front of the ball on defense, trying to poke it out or get the steal, something the Knights haven't even gotten close to doing. The Sentinels are understanding the game. They're able to know what move Gilbert Christian's going to make next and try and predict that, shut down the play before it even begins. I've really liked that, and then we were just talking about it a moment ago, but the shooting. It's been accurate, it's been clean looks, and there's been great passes to try and set up those shots. I think that this is a really good game, and if they can play like this coming down the stretch, this is a team that, for all their youth, still looks like a potential playoff team.
And I think for Seton, too, they played clean. Only Bowler's in foul trouble. She's only got 3. Other than that, and that's part of learning the high school circuit and how things are going to be called. So whereas DiPuccio fouled out of that Yuma Catholic game, this team, collectively a young team, learning not just how to play in Karen Self's system offensively and defensively, but also learning how to play against the refs and what they're going to call in the course of being on the floor for 4 periods. Cervantes works it. Gilbert Christian under a minute left as time is winding down. Hansen will fire it up from 3, and that's way off the mark. And we kind of talked about Gilbert Christian. They're shooting woes from 3, in the 20s, and the bulk of their team and what they do is based on the boards and based in the post. Iber to DiPuccio, and Sophia's going to win that battle as she strolls through the Gilbert Christian defense. Descala and the Sentinels, 40 seconds left, about 15-second shot clock to game clock differential. DiPuccio being harassed by Cervantes.
Interesting.
And the call goes against the Sentinels with 32.4 seconds left. And right now it's just a matter of the Sentinels just seeing the clock tick away, and that drops in by Dutzman. And you can't say enough about Lily Dutzman. She's played a great game. 17 points to lead the team. And Addie Bailey has been dynamic as well, but this one, too much youth for the Sentinels, and that's DiPuccio leading the charge with 18 points, and the Sentinels are going to get another victory by the count of 48-27. DiPuccio with 18 points. McKenna Iber with 14. Kalia Bowler with 8. Descala with 5. And on the other side, Dutzman with 17. And Addie Bailey and Dutzman both with 17 apiece. Short timeout. We're going to be doing some live interviews. Jane Reichen will be talking to some of the players, and I'll be talking to Coach Karen Self. Keep it locked and loaded. More to come from Chandler Prep.
So we'll take you down courtside for the Seton Catholic Sports Network post-game show. And Sophia, I mean, that was such a strong game from you guys all around, an 18-point performance for you. And just, I mean, what does it mean for you guys to have this such a great win heading into the break?
It feels really good. We've recently, we've lost a little bit, so this has really, really helped upped our spirits and stuff before break.
And then for you as well, this was a great offensive game all around for the team. I mean, in your opinion, what do you think led to that success?
Honestly, defense. Just getting stops on defense, it really, it leads to offense.
And then passing the ball, it was all over the place. You guys were such an active offense today. Everybody was moving. How much of that is stuff that you guys were practicing this week?
We practiced it all yesterday, all week. That's what we've been working on, just really moving the ball, especially against their zone.
And then for you personally, I mean, what do you think was your biggest strong suit this game? What was the one thing that you were like, that's what I really did well?
I'd have to say probably attacking. Their big wasn't really coming up, so just getting to the basket.
And then to take down a team that defeated Yuma Catholic, you guys lost, as you kind of do the game there where it's like they beat who?
Yeah.
To take down a team that has won against the team that you guys have lost to, what does that kind of mean for your guys' potential down the road?
I think it just means that we fight. We don't look at past games. We just keep on moving forward. I mean, the past is in the past.
Okay, thank you, Sophia. Go have fun, celebrate, catch your breath, and we'll be right back here on the Seton Catholic Sports Network postgame show.
Okay, thank you so much.
A 14-point slice and dice for McKenna Ivor. And just kind of tell me, I mean, what's it like when you can have that much offensive pressure against a team that's taller than you?
Really, I just try to, it's not more about, me, but I try to, move around the ball and just, try to get my teammates open more. But, when I am open, I definitely try to get my own points, too.
And I felt like today you were really ready to shoot it from anywhere on the court. You were pulling up from deep. You were going inside. How do you kind of prepare to be ready to take a shot no matter when it might come?
Really, I just, my brain, I just, look very quickly, at my surroundings, really, and, if I'm, hand in face or, any hands at all. And I just determine if my teammates are open first, and then I just pull it because, I feel like I'm open, open enough to shoot it, and, yeah.
You're one of the young leaders on this team, and you guys are all around a pretty young roster. What are you guys doing to build that up over time, and how do you guys feel like you've already grown as a team just in the early stages of this season?
Oh, well, we have a lot of bonding moments, so that definitely helps, even though we don't have as much experience with each other. And I think our just friendship has just grown exponentially, and really fast, because we get each other really well, and so it's easy for us to connect.
And now moving in, coming past break, for you guys, what's the one thing that you really think as a team that you guys could improve on overall?
I think our defense, although it has gotten really better and has really improved, I just think we just need to work on it a bit more and moving the ball, I'd say, and just finding people who are open.
Okay, well, thank you very much. We appreciate you coming on. Stay tuned. We'll wrap it out here from Chandler Preparatory Academy.
We welcome you back to Chandler Prep. Karen Self and the Sentinels pick up the win over Gilbert Christian by the count of 48-27. Karen, this was a battle of the Seton speed and defensive toughness against a team with a lot of size and strength, and your team's quickness and ability to handle the basketball, persevere. Your thoughts on the win?
I thought that was a gritty win for us. I thought it was like one of our best defensive performances this season. We've come a long way from the first couple of days of practice to now. I thought our post players, our undersized post players, did a great job in the post, being physical, boxing out, like doing the best they could. Again, they're giving up 6 inches. So.
Yeah, and what I really liked about this team tonight, you can tell the mental growth of this team, starting with Sofia Puccio. In the loss earlier in the season against Human Catholic, she fouled out. She was indecisive with the basketball. Now she's believing in her ability and that quick first step, and we saw that tonight.
Yeah, and people got to remember, Sophie's coming off of double leg surgery. She had compartment syndrome, and so she had surgery in May on one leg, and then she had surgery in July on the other leg. So she hadn't played basketball since, like March, I think, of last year, where they shut her down as they were getting the testing done. And so she's just really kind of finding herself still. And also it's a big jump from junior high to varsity, even though she, she plays club and everything. It's still a big jump. And so not having been out on the floor, I am just thrilled with her growth. I'm thrilled with her decision making. She's starting to attack the basket a little bit more, which we love. And I think, although she's not 100% from where she was before her surgeries or before the compartment syndrome really got her, she's getting better every day, and so we love what we see.
We talk about your team, and you got such versatility, and I see that in McKenna, who's, you can tell she's so poised with the basketball, right? Doesn't get rattled, but she's also so effective handling the basketball. She gives you the ability to bring the ball up the court, but as a shooter, Karen, she looks like her poise is well beyond her freshman age.
Yeah, sometimes Kayla calls her a magician. She's just, she just has a knack for hitting a timely three, and she, the beauty of McKenna is she's undersized, so I think people think, I don't know, maybe they misjudge her. But
don't judge the book by the cover.
She can handle the ball. She can finish through contact. She can hit the three, and she can defend. She really understands. McKenna has an incredibly high basketball IQ, and she understands the game. And so when we're teaching new concepts, she's like, she sees it once, and she's like, "I got you, coach. I know exactly what you want." So she's great.
Coach, I think I'm going to start something starting tonight. I'm going to call it the Joe Pequeno Grit Award for every game. And I want to give my first Grit Award to Emmy Hall, who just goes out there, and she just is a relentless force of nature, does whatever. She's physical, she's tough. Checks all the boxes of things that has to be done to do all the little things. And she never ceases to impressed me on the floor.
Yeah, and her toughness tonight on the inside, she, like I said, she was giving up 6 inches easy. And so that was, that was a really, really great test for her, recognizing those cross screens when they were coming and getting through and getting deflections and just really establishing a physical presence in the post, where you would never expect the littler kid to be able to do that. But also, Sophia Lennartz did a great job as well. Both of them, but Emmy, she came up with a key bucket late in the game when we needed it. She, she got tips, deflections, boards when we needed them, and never underestimate John Harrison to make an appearance.
Oh my goodness, right? Is he either walking through a shot or just going to put the arm in? That was John right there. Just next time, bring the nog in.
Yeah.
So Karen, after the John appearance, that was his arm one more time reaching in. That was the reach-in foul there.
Yeah.
By the way, Ben Franklin on the road Thursday. Your thoughts of going there? They're 6-3. They're coming up a loss, and obviously they're going to be ready, waiting. And anytime Seton goes into an opposing gym, the X is always on your team's chest.
Yeah, obviously we've had both of our tournaments already, so we are a little bit more battle tested, I think. But yeah, they have a little bit better record than us, and so we just have to understand our scout, know exactly what their tendencies are, and just really bring our best defense. I thought our defense was great tonight, and I thought our ball pressure was phenomenal. So if we can bring that kind of ball pressure, it really limits teams' ability to pound it inside if they have a height advantage or whatever.
And Karen, I think from what we saw early in the season, I think the team handling the basketball in transition is light years better from when you first started the year as well.
For sure. When you have 6 freshmen and 5 sophomores and 1 junior who didn't see very many minutes last year, no seniors, Like, this is just every week is just a growth opportunity for us. And as we get through Thursday and then we have a little shutdown for Christmas, and believe me, during that time period, we are going to be working and trying to keep, improving our defense, improving our offensive execution, and our transition is just kind of sloppy right now. We run well, but we don't run a secondary break the way I want to.
Not
yet. But we,
that's
honestly,
the goal for the new year.
That's the important word, though. Yet.
Santa bring transition basketball.
No, these girls, they got it. They're just one click away from getting it, and then we're just trying to get better every day and give ourselves a good shot at a decent playoff position.
So Karen, we won't see you again here on home floor until the 2nd when you take on North Valley Christian Academy. So Christmas is around the corner. Mm-hmm. So what does Karen Self want for Christmas? What do you want Santa to bring you, or how would you spend that day, or a combination of both?
I think Santa already brought me like a dream team, man. This is a great group of kids. They're fantastic kids. They're super coachable and they're fun to be around. We had so much fun up in Flagstaff. I mean, yeah, we dropped 2 games, but it was all just a growth opportunity, right? And it was an opportunity to learn, and they were great. They had so much fun in that. We stayed in a little Airbnb type house, and it was awesome. So, I mean, and then on a personal note, like my daughter's coming home Saturday. She's an athletic trainer at UNO, University of Nebraska Omaha, and she's in a PhD program there. So we get to see her for a couple of weeks when she comes home.
So the big question as we head toward the new year, I've yet to see Mom at a game. Is she going to make it to a game?
Oh, she's probably watching right now. So, hi, Mom.
Mom, if you're out there.
Mom's busy.
Hearts and kisses.
Mom's doing a lot of stuff for Christmas, helping get ready. So.
Does she do the cooking for the family?
She does. She's a great cook. She's amazing.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to be going to Bakersfield, spending some time with my wife's family. We're going to be cooking up all kinds of goodness. So that is Karen Self. The Sentinels pick up a very convincing win over Gilbert Christian. They're on the road Thursday at Ben Franklin. Then, of course, the Christmas break. Back here on the 2nd. For Karen Self and all the great people at Seton Catholic, Jaden Reichen, of course, Jim Shoebridge, and all the great people in the athletic department. Victor Cerna, who runs this fine athletic and academic institution, as good as any in the state and the best in the Southeast Valley. I'm Joe Pequeno, Paula Hutchinson, the live stream for Jaden Reichen. Everyone, happy holidays. Make it safe. Make it a Seton holiday. And we'll see you real soon right here on the Seton Catholic Sports Network.
Thanks, Joe.